So you've got a son who's hit young adulthood, and suddenly there's this friction, right? The same advice that used to work now just gets you a brick wall. You're probably wondering, what on earth is going on? Well, I've got a different way for you to look at it. You haven't lost your influence, you've just been handed a promotion you never asked for. And this is your guide to navigating that new role. And look, let's just admit it, this can be really, really tough. It can even be a little painful. He's trying to forge his own identity, and a lot of the time that process feels like he's just pushing you away. But what if we've been looking at this whole transition completely backward? Here's the big reframe. You're not being demoted from the role of parent. You're actually being promoted. You're moving up from being the hands-on manager of his life to being his most trusted advisor. Think of it as moving from the factory floor to the corner office, and that requires a totally new playbook. So let's make it official. Your new job title is senior consultant, and this isn't just semantics, okay? It's a huge shift in the entire power dynamic. From here on out, he is the CEO of his own life, and your job is to be his go-to, most valuable advisor. All right, so let's put these two job descriptions side by side, shall we? Your old job was general manager. You were in the trenches, responsible for the day-to-day operations. Your new role, senior consultant, is all about high-level perspective. But, and this is key, only when you're asked. Let's really break down what that looks like. Okay, this is where it gets really practical. As a manager, your communication style was all about directives, right? Rules, commands, do this, don't do that. But as a consultant, it's all about dialogue, about asking questions. When it comes to problem solving, you have to retire the phrase, "Here, let me fix it for you." Instead, you start saying things like, how are you thinking about handling that? And maybe the biggest shift of all is your view of mistakes. They're no longer these terrible landmines you have to help him avoid. They're just data points. They're learning opportunities. The whole game shifts from trying to get his obedience to empowering his autonomy. Okay, so you're on board with the promotion. Awesome. But what do you do now? Like any big new job, this one comes with a specific set of tools. So let's get into the concrete, actionable things you can start doing today. We're going to break it down into 3 essential tools for your new consultant toolkit. Number 1, and this is a biggie, ask permission before you give advice. Why? Because unsolicited advice almost always lands like criticism. 2, start using powerful questions. The goal isn't to lead him to your answer, but to help him think for himself. And number 3, show your scars, not just your trophies. Let's unpack each of these. This simple question right here, this is your golden key. It is so powerful because it immediately shows you respect his autonomy. You're waiting for an invitation to the table. It completely changes the vibe from a lecture into a partnership. This is how you build respect, and respect is the only currency that matters in this new relationship. The point of asking questions isn't to play gotcha or to trick him into agreeing with you. It's to help him build what you could call his competence muscle. You're not there to provide the solution on a silver platter. You're there to guide him while he discovers it himself. This is what builds his critical thinking and, just as importantly, his confidence. It breaks the cycle of him depending on you for all the answers. Now, this is a classic powerful question. Why is it so good? Because it makes him stop and define his own goal before he even thinks about a solution. It automatically puts you on his team, looking at his vision of success. It proves you're invested in what he wants, not just in him doing things your way. And this one is all about teaching foresight. It gets him thinking about consequences, about what could go wrong, and it forces him to develop a backup plan. These are absolutely essential skills for being a functional adult. You're not trying to scare him. You're helping him become a strategic thinker who doesn't get blindsided by challenges. Honestly, this might be the most important tool in the whole kit. Young adults, especially young men, feel this incredible pressure to have everything figured out. If you only ever share your wins, your trophies, you become this impossible, perfect standard that he can never live up to. But when you share your failures, your moments of doubt, your scars, that's what connects you. That's what makes you human. It tells him it's okay to struggle, and that growth is supposed to be a messy, lifelong journey. Okay, so theory is one thing, but these tools are meant to be used out there in the real world, in the field, especially when things go wrong. So let's talk about how you applied this consultant mindset when he, inevitably messes up. I want you to burn this phrase into your brain. Look, experience is a great teacher, but it is an expensive one. When he fails, and he will, you have to resist the urge to say, I told you so. It might feel good for about 5 seconds, but I'm telling you, it comes with a massive relational tax that could shut down communication between you two for a very, very long time. In the aftermath of a mistake, your job is to become his safe harbor, a person he can come to figure out what went wrong, to learn the lesson, and to move on, all without feeling judged or shamed. This space you create for him, that's where the real, lasting growth happens. Hey, don't just assume he knows all this adulting stuff. A lot of young men are quietly, deeply embarrassed by what they don't know. So explicitly offering to teach him practical skills, like how a 401k works, or how to negotiate a salary, or even just how to check the oil in his car, can be a huge act of mentorship. Just remember to frame it as an offer, not an order. Hey, if you're ever interested. So as we start to land the plane here, let's just zoom all the way out. What's the actual point of all this? What does winning really look like in your new job as senior consultant? It's not about control. It has nothing to do with control. It's all about his independence. This entire journey really comes down to 3 fundamental mindset shifts. Okay, here's the first one. You have to move from a mindset of, I need to protect him from the world, to one that says, I need to prepare him for it. Second, you have to let go of the idea that he should listen to me because I know best. You have to replace it with, I should listen to him so I can truly understand him. And finally, number 3, you redefine what success even means. It's not about him following your path or recreating your life. Success is about you helping him find his own way. In the end, this is what it's all about. The whole goal is to build a relationship based on so much mutual respect that he no longer needs your direction, but he actively wants your guidance. You make the incredible transition from being his director to being his most loyal, steadfast supporter, his biggest fan. So I'll leave you with this final thought. A challenge, really. To really step into this new consultant role, you have to consciously let go of an old habit. So think about it. What specific managerial habit, is it jumping in to fix his problems? Is it offering advice he didn't ask for? Is it checking in just a little too often? What's the one thing you will officially resign from starting right now?